So we've been noticing one of the big problems that a lot of people have when somebody passes away is the lack of liquidity. Or even in their later years, maybe they're older, they've got a beautiful home, a valuable home, a lot of equity, but they have absolutely no cash. They can't travel, they can't buy groceries, they can't even get all their medication. Life gets pretty austere. And so we've had a lot of inquiries lately about, where can I find some cash if I'm older and all the money's locked up in my house? And so we've been talking to a lot of clients about reverse mortgages. You have any clients or customers, Chris?
We get it all the time. It's a dilemma. Should I sell? The property's worth nothing. I have it paid off, but you're right. I'm just, what do I do? Because if I go get another place, it's going to cost me a lot of money to do that now, right? And my property taxes are lower. So yeah, absolutely, Dan. We're running into it those situations. Do I do a reverse mortgage or do I sell? That's usually some options. Or do I go to a assisted living type situation as well?
And if you sell, you might have to pay capital gains taxes. And after you sell, then where are you going to live? Then you're paying rent at assisted living or you're renting another place. So there is a way to harvest the value of the equity in your home without selling. And that's typically either a HELOC or a reverse mortgage. And a reverse mortgage is maybe the easiest way to do it. It's basically a loan on your house. You pull out the money now and you live off that money. And then when the person passes away, then the reverse mortgage has to be paid back. And if it's not paid back, then the house gets sold. The reverse mortgage company takes their money, and the balance goes to the beneficiaries. But it's a great way to hang on to your home. I mean, it's your money, it's your value sitting there in your home. Why suffer? Why, reduce your standard of living or not travel or do the things you're used to doing if you've got all that value in your home. Mm-hmm. The alternative, like you said, is to sell, and then you've got a lot of cash. What are you going to do with that? So reverse mortgages are okay. A lot of people wonder, is it a real thing? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? And actually they're pretty popular for older folks that need to pull money out of their house. And I think, you can look at different institutions and compare rates and terms and read the fine print in the reverse mortgage. Make sure the reverse mortgage company doesn't have the right to buy your home. Basically, they've just got to be paid back. But the trustee of your trust or the executor of your estate should be empowered to sell the home or even pay off the mortgage company. They might even be able to do a refinance of the property, pay off the reverse mortgage company, and then keep the property.
Those are some good options. So, Dan, I ran into a situation with a client, and basically they had a reverse mortgage on the property. They didn't have they did have a will, so that was good, but they were getting letters.
Foreclosure letters
from there. So yeah. So she was getting a little nervous about selling, and they went through the process. Obviously, they know. But have you ran into any situations like that for some of your clients? And what are some things you might advise them to do?
Often, in fact, if you have a reverse mortgage, you better have your property in a living trust, because if you just have a will, then there's a gap.
Yep.
So the person dies, reverse mortgage company wants their money immediately.
Yep.
But there's nobody authorized to pay it.
That's right.
So you have to go through a probate, get an administrator appointed for the estate, and that takes a few months or many months sometimes. And meanwhile, you're getting nasty letters from the reverse mortgage company. So if it's in a trust, however, you don't have to go through probate. Immediately, your successor trustee is empowered to deal with the reverse mortgage company, to sell the property if they want to. And very often times beneficiaries just want to sell.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Because everybody wants their money. One kid lives over here, another kid lives over there. Nobody wants to live in mom and dad's old house. But the reverse mortgage company needs to be paid off. So if it's in a living trust, you can sell the property right away, pay off the reverse mortgage company, the beneficiaries divide the cash, and all that can be done without any court supervision. If there's a will, however, which is what we often see, then there's this delay. the reverse mortgage is due immediately upon death. But if there's a will, we've got to wait for probate to happen before somebody's authorized to handle that. So if you have a reverse mortgage, good for you. Great way to harvest the wealth out of your estate. But make sure you have your property in a trust so someone can handle both the equity and the reverse mortgage if you pass.
And Dan, in the living trust, when we set that up, can we also put a provision in, or let's say we don't want the house to be sold, but like you said, they can do a HELOC to try to pay it off, or the beneficiaries can pay and say, hey, what if they got emotional and they want to keep the house for some reason? Can we build those type of clauses where this estate can't be sold or anything like that? I know it's kind of a...
You can, but a clause like that might conflict with the reverse mortgage provision.
As I was bringing it up.
Usually the reverse mortgage will require that the house be sold.
Okay.
If the reverse mortgage can't be paid off. So I think that the good thing, though, is that if it's in a trust, the trustee already has the power to sell or not to sell. And those can be internal decisions that the family can reach on their own. But generally, we do use clauses that prevent a property or prohibit a property from being sold in larger estates where maybe there's one house or another one that it's important to pass that on down to the family. But there's no reverse mortgage that's due and payable on death involved. So yeah, you can use that on a general trust for maybe another property that's not subject to a reverse mortgage.
Awesome.